REMARKETER. Empowering Realtors.
Good morning. Thank you very much for joining me. So I'm going to continue on the discussion that we had last week for the personalization of the website. We're going to pick up where we left off, and I'm going to give you some more details into what would be available for personalizing your websites. Let me just quickly log in here. Awesome. All right, so let's take a look at the website. Let me just go over some of the points that we discussed last week. So we took a look at how we can change the looks and the orientation and pretty much the structure of the header here. We changed the logo. We added a logo. Basically, we changed the background here. We also did some modifications to the footer here. We changed the default colors that we have for the hover factor, the default colors that we have. So, for example, these are the default colors. The primary color, we talked about the primary color, we talked about the secondary color. So all of that was the discussion that we had last week. Let me go into the back end and take you back to the website configuration. So under website design, right down here, we have a website config, and this is where all the configurations are. So if you remember, we talked about the theme of the header. We talked about the colors and setting the different colors in there. This is a custom set of colors that I configured last week, and you can refer back to our video from last week if you still have questions on this. We talked about the media, how to add a website logo, which would be this logo at the top right there. What would be the alternative logo? We talked about the footer brokerage logo. We talked about the title bar. So if you remember, we changed the title bar here as well. So this title bar at the top right here, this was changed. We talked about the service background, the favicon, which would be the little icon at the top corner of your browser tabs. We talked about the also, if you want to change the CTA, the call to action pictures. So these two, let me just show them to you. Let's go back to the home page. If you also want to change these two, where did it go? There we go. The call to action buttons, you can change those as well right here. So these are the pictures and the media that have been used on the website. If you want to change any of them, replace any of them, you can certainly do that under the media tab right here. Then we talked about the slider, the banner at the top of the home page. This is pretty much the most important thing that you might want to alter to give it the looks that you want on your website. And I showed you how you can set the different banners. You always have the load default button right here where you can click and the default settings can be loaded for you, and then you can take it from there. You can start changing things on top of that as well. I also showed you the video embed option where you can embed your video as well on the sliding banner right here. So, okay, so we pretty much stopped here, and I have the rest of the tabs to go over with you today, and I'll try to, I think we're going to be able to finish them off today, so you can have the a good idea of what's going to, what options are available to personalize your website, basically. All right, so let's move on to the next tab right here. This one is pretty self-explanatory. It's not much to it. You can certainly play around with it, but what it does is that it changes the fonts of the website. So these are all the different fonts that are available. Uh, there's a drop down that you can select here. The body font, the body font size, the body font weight, and the body font colors. So that's the body of the website. So all the fonts that are being used in the body. So if I'm looking at a property, for example, these would be the body fonts right there. Then we have the title fonts, the title font size, the title font weight, and then the title font color. So anything that would be considered a title, like this one, for example, that would be these would be the colors and the font size and everything that's in there. So just so you know, you can basically select any other fonts here, and you can see a preview of it on the right hand side right there. So if I change the font, you can see that I can see how it kind of would look like on the left here, on the right side here. So you have a preview available for you to see kind of what it will look like before applying it. Now, the font size is the size of the font, so it makes it bigger or smaller in pixels. You have to have the px at the end. So you can just edit this if you want to. If you want to increase this to 20, you can go ahead and edit it like that. The font weight is basically the volume of the font, so it'll make it thicker, it'll make it bolder. So the higher the weight is, the bolder it is. And then obviously the font color is the color of the font. So I'm not going to get into this a lot. It is just very simple to go ahead and change the fonts of the website if you wish to do so. PT Sans is pretty much the industry standard. That's what we have configured for your website as well. It's very easy on the eyes. It's very easy to read. It appears clearly on different screens with different screen resolutions. So these are the things to consider, technically speaking, when deciding a font, and that's what's been configured on your website by default. But again, all the other fonts will work perfectly as well. All right, let's move on to the next tab right here, and this tab is pretty much the extras tab. So it's an interesting tab to configure at the beginning of setting up your website, and it gives you some extra functionality if you wish to use them right here. All right. So at the top, we have the website tag name and then the website tag description. So this is a general tag name and a tag description for the entire website. And it's an important thing for you to configure, which would make a difference on your search engine search results, on Google search results, for instance. Let me just quickly do a search here. Whatever. Let me just say, I don't know, LED TV for sale, whatever. Just searching some random stuff. Okay, so for example, you see here at the top where we have the results of the search. We have two sections to every search result. We have this title right here, which would be the website tag name, which is the same as what is written in the tab at the top of every browser. So that will be your website tag name. So you can change that here. So for instance, if I go to the home page right here, you see that? Mary Clarkson REMARKETER demo account. That's what it says at the top right here. Is exactly the same thing that we have in here. So you can basically change that, and that would appear in the title whenever that page or your home page comes up in the result of a search engine search. So let me just try to see. There it is. So you see this, for example, this is the about page which came in the result. Mary Clarkson, remarketer demo account. So you see that comes into the header of your website. So for instance, if you wanted to say, I don't know, Mississauga's #1 agent, for example, you can add that in your website tag name. So I would suggest to definitely include your name, because that's usually the #1 keyword that you want to secure, your name basically. So whoever searches for you, your website and your different website pages would show, and then you can have something added to the end of it as well. Please remember, don't use things like double quotations and percentage and ampersands and the special characters, because those things don't load well in these structured areas of a web page, for instance. So use hyphens and regular, uh, uh, characters. Now, the second page, I'm sorry, the second section would be different on different websites, on different web pages, but basically would be an explanation, a description of the tag. So you can also have a description added here, which would be added to the description of your homepage, basically, when it comes to search engine optimization. I'm trying to see if I can get to the home page here. There you go. So that's the home page, home, Mary Clarkson, remarketer demo account. And here you go. This is the demo account, Mary Clarkson. So that's what I have added right here. So it could be a small paragraph of things about you. So for example, you can say, with, I don't know, 20 years of experience in Mississauga real estate. So if you need to get any information, contact me, whatever. So, make it a appealing little script here that if your website appears in any search results, it would be appealing for the person who reads, skims through these little bits here to click on yours, basically, right? So all they would be looking at is this title and a little bit of what's available here. So put in things like, I don't know, instant home valuation, up-to-date market statistics, make it a call to action, right? So people would click on your website and come to your website through search engine. So these two are pretty important for you to configure and own for your own website personalized, for your own personalized website, basically. All right, so go in and configure the tag name and the tag description as well. Now, the next section is the Google Analytics ID. Now, if you go to the dashboard, we have website analytics available for your website anyway. So you don't have to worry about setting up Google Analytics. This is an internal analytics system that we run on every one of our clients' websites. So that's perfectly okay for you to use and understand what's going on your website. But for whatever reason, for instance, if you're running Google AdWords and you want to monitor your ad spends and all that, that will be integrated with Google Analytics. And if you want to set up Google Analytics, what would be available for you to also configure your analytics here would be this Google Analytics ID. So you can paste your Google Analytics ID here, and it will also send these statistics over to your Google account as well, to your Google Analytics account as well. I'm not going to get into configuring Google Analytics at the time. Maybe we'll do another video on that. However, you wouldn't need that off the bat because we already have an internal analytics systems available for you, which will monitor your most important website statistics anyway. Now, the next section here are the different languages that are available here. So you can also select other languages to be available down here for your website. So you can select different languages and it will change the content of the website to that language. Now, this would be used for the general sections of the website. Most of the website is dynamic. So for instance, if we go to a property description, a property detail page, which is pretty much the most important section of your website, let me change it to a more distinct language here. You can see, for instance, the content of the dynamic content of the page cannot be changed and will not be changed, because if we want to do a translation on that, it's pretty much going to sound really horrible to a native speaker of that language. And these are dynamic anyway. But the static sections of the website, like the titles, for instance, right here, are all translated. The buttons and the headers and all that are translated so that we can make it easier for someone who prefers a different language to navigate around the website. But those languages would also be available at the top right here. Now, the main thing for that, the gesture for that, is that you are serving that community, and you might want to include their language here as well. And it basically sends the signal here. So whichever language that you would like to choose, you can just select from here, and it will be added in the drop down of the languages that you have. All right. Now, the next two sections here are the custom search and the market reports. These are super important as well. You can configure these, and you should configure these the first time that you configure your website, so that you have two very important functions activated on your website. So let me go back to English here. Let's go back to the home page. Now, we have two things to configure. The first thing is a custom search section. So what that does is that, let's scroll down here. You have this section here, great neighborhoods, great homes. If once you configure this and you select areas for your custom search, this section is going to be added to your website, and it's going to indicate to the viewer the areas that you're mostly focused on. So if I come to this, if I land on this website and I look at this section, I would immediately be able to see that this agent is mainly focused in these areas. It's kind of setting me apart from the rest by providing a niche, by providing a focus area, a focus niche in my business, which is a value when it comes to real estate. Technically speaking, you all can operate anywhere in Ontario per your licensing capacity. However, in the eyes of a consumer would want to see focus. A consumer would want to see, your clients would want to know that you're an expert in Markham. And I don't care if you can also sell in East Gwillimbury, but what I want to know if I want to list my property with you is that you are really, really focused in Markham, because I'm a Markham resident as well. And that'll be the 90% of your business, and that you want to be able to cater to the 90% of your business. So Markham, whenever they click on it, what happens is that it's going to send them to a pre-configured Markham search. It's just a quick way for you to get them started on Markham properties. Now, the way that you configure this is simply by configuring this section right here. So let's go ahead and change this. Let's change this to North York, for example. So I'm selecting North York instead of Markham, and I'm going to save this. So let's go back and refresh. Now you can see that we have North York instead of Markham. And now if someone clicks here, they're going to be sent over to North York and start the search in North York. All right, so it's good for you to select up to 4 areas, and I would suggest that you select 4 areas for your focus areas. So that's what's going to show on the home page in the Great Neighborhoods, Great Homes area. Now, the other option that you have down here, let's just go back here, is the market reports. Again, you can select up to 4 areas, and I would suggest that you select the same 4 areas, that would show your expertise, show your focus, and add them to your market reports. And what happens is that they would appear right here. So if I click on new market, for instance, here, we have new market residential market analysis available. So the whole market statistics available for new market is going to be presented in here as well. So anyone who comes to your website is going to see that you have up-to-date information on new market. So if I'm interested to purchase a property in new market, you have been able to capture my attention right here, because you're showing focus, and not only focus, you're also showing that you are well prepared with statistics and data and up-to-date information pertaining to that certain area. So this obviously caters to my need, caters to my interest, and it is going to build trust, which is the number one essential element in the relationship that you want to build with your target audiences. So we have these statistics available, and you're going to be able to show that off on your website simply by selecting your market reports down here. So again, if I change this to North York, for instance, now we have North York as the market statistics available right there. It's interesting to see how markets are shifting from here to here. All right, but that's a whole different topic. Okay, so the next 3 sections are for more advanced configuration of the website, mainly for third-party interaction, as well as some more advanced customization of the website. Now, we have 2 sections before head and body tag scripts. So these are scripts that are provided to you by third parties, which you can just add to your website and be able to allow your website to interact and exchange information with that third-party application. So these could be very different things that can be applied here. It could be third-party modules such as, chat widgets or pop-ups that can be added to your website. We do have videos explaining about, adding chat widgets and pop-ups to your website. So if you want to see how we can do that, you can definitely go back and check out those videos. It could also be things like Google Pixel and Facebook Pixel that can be added to your website in order to, track leads and interaction of the leads on your website through Google Analytics, for instance, or Facebook Pixel, for instance. So what those third-party providers provide, which is, an array of different use cases, is that they give you a piece of code like this one. They say, okay, so for this function to work, that function could be Facebook Pixel for a Facebook ad, or it could be a chat widget for a mobile chat on your website. So whatever service you're trying to integrate onto your website, what they do is that they provide you a piece of code, a little piece of code here, and then they instruct you. They say, add this code to your website before the head. So if they say add this before the header section, this is where you go, before head tag strip. You just paste it here and save it. That's all. If you need more, you can also do more as well. So you just press enter, you add another script here. So maybe you're running several different third-party widgets on your website. You can add them all. There's, certainly no limit. If you overdo it, obviously it's going to take longer for them to load. However, there's, literally no limit here. So you can have a chat widget. You can also have a Facebook Pixel running, or you can have a, Google tag script running in there as well. So don't worry about that. You can just press enter and add more scripts in there as well. Now, if the instruction says paste this into the body section of your website, then you go into the body tag script and then paste it right here. It's the same thing. It doesn't really matter. The difference between the head and the body tag script is when the script is going to run. If the script has to run before the page loads, they usually suggest that you put it into the before head section. If the script has to run after the page loads, then they would say you put it in the body tag script. So that's the only thing that's different here, but it's in the instructions that you know exactly what to do. All you need to do is to copy that code and paste it in here and save it, and that's it. It'll start working. So you don't even have to get consult with us for that. It's as simple as that. All right, so the custom CSS I'm not going to get into. That's more technical, and we usually use that in order to do some further customization on your website. So if you need any customizations done to your website that are not included here, we might be using that section to add some custom CSS to your website. If there's anything in here, please don't touch it. We've placed it in there, and it's for the specific designs that you might have requested there. Okay, now the next tab here is the sections tab. Now this tab, alongside with the next tab, the homepage tab, can really allow you to start modifying and adding functionality to your homepage. So take a look at your homepage. Let's start from the top. We have different sections here. We have a banner section here at the top, at the very, very top, which we already discussed. We have this slider tab right here, which allows you to fully configure that section. However, scrolling down, you have different sections available. We have the featured properties section. So that's where your properties that you select to be featured in your property manager are going to populate. Then we have the new development section. If you have new developments in your website, you have those available on your homepage as well. Then we have the call to actions. Then we have the great neighborhoods, great homes, custom search section. So these are, each one of them is a section right here. Then we have the exclusive services section. Then we have the market statistics, which is uh, added uh, separately here. We have the recently listed properties section. These are your brokerage properties. Then we have the kind words from clients section, so your testimonials. Then we have some useful information. So these are general information that are available. And then we have the news, and then we have the footer. So we basically have a synopsis of all the different services that are available on your website, listed down in different sections on your home page. Now, let's go into the configuration. And before talking about the sections tab, I want to take you to the homepage tab. Now, you can see here in the homepage section that we have, these are the homepage sections, basically. You can see that we have several different sections available right here. Forget about the custom section one. We have the featured properties, as we just saw, the new developments. Then we have the call to actions, and we have the default search. So those are the four circles. We have the services section. Then we have the office listing sections. Then we have the testimonials, the useful tools. Then we have the recent news. So these are all the different sections that we just saw on the home page. So those sections are available from top to bottom on the home page. And now you can see that we have the same stuff available right here on the right side as well. We have the homepage structure right there. We have the custom section, we have the featured properties, blah, blah, blah. So these are all the sections that are available. These are all the sections that are visible and present on the website right now. Now, the custom sections here, these are blank sections available to you for customization. If you want to add further information there, the custom sections. Those custom sections, there are 5 of them available on the website. Custom section 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you can see that they are also available on your website, but they are empty to begin with. You can then populate these custom sections with content under the sections tab right here. So you can see we have custom section 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you can see that I have added code for one of these custom sections, custom section 3. Let's go ahead and see where custom section 3 would be. Custom section 3 would be right after the services section, right? So let's go to the website, featured properties, new developments, call to actions, custom searches, services. This is the services section. Right after that is my custom section. So I've added this this little module, this little widget as a custom section, as a custom function on my website. Market statistics have been added to my website. And then after that, we have the rest of the things. So I added one custom section right there. Now let's go ahead and add another custom section to my website. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to use custom section 1 for this. And I'm going to create a little section about myself, and I'm going to link it to the About Me page. Okay, so that's what I'm going to have at the very top, right after the first fold, which is the banner on the website. So that's what I'm going to do right now for you. Now, for us to be able to create content for this custom section, I need to be able to create code. Do I know how to create HTML code? No. So what I'm going to do is this. All right. So we have a tool which is going to allow us to create code easily, and that's the custom pages section. Now, the custom pages section, we have a different video on it, and I'll talk to you in that video, about creating custom pages for your website. I'm not going to create a custom page here. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to use the module to create a little section, which would be on a custom page, and I'm just going to use that code for my custom section on the home page. So here's what we're going to do, and stay with me on this. I'm going to go to custom pages, create the content that I want. Then I'm going to copy the code that's created there, and I'm going to use it in the custom section 1 here to be shown on my home page. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. I'm just going to go to custom pages. I've got a bunch of custom pages right here. I'm just going to create a new one. All right. Firstly, let's go to page settings. I have a full video on this, so go to that video if you want to see, a full-fledged set of functionalities. But I'm just going to run you through a quick example, which is going to be easily done here. So the first thing you got to do here is you got to set the title and everything. So I'm just going to say home page custom section 1, let's say, just for my own reference. This is not going to be a real custom page, so I don't care about the title right here. I just have to have a title in order to be able to save it. So I added that in there. And let's go ahead and create it now. So what I want to do is I want to create a section about myself. So I need a little picture of me here, and then a little text on the right side, and then a little button that takes them to the about page. So let's go ahead and do this. So I need a 4 and an 8. So I need a 4-column section on the left, and then an 8-column section on the right. So on the left, I'm going to have an image. So I'm just going to drag and drop this image right here. I'm going to select my own picture. Let's go ahead and find me in there. There we are. So I'm going to select that. That's my picture. And then I'm going to add some text here at the right. So I'm going to add my text. Welcome to my website. I'm going to select this. I'm going to change the format to a header style 2. And I'm going to write everything that there is to know about me. That's my about. And then I want to add a button. There. So select the button and add it right here. I'm going to change this. The label is going to be go to about page or whatever. And then the link is going to be going to my about page. So how do I know that? I'll go to about, and I take this portion of the URL. I'll just copy this /about, and then I put that right here. Okay, so I've created some content right here using the custom page builder. Do I know any code? No. What I do right now is I'm going to save this, and you can see it gives me the code right there. I can even save it for later as well, so that if I want to make any changes, I already have this there. I don't have to publish it to my website. It's not available to browse on my website. It's just sitting in the back end for me to come back to if I want to make any changes to that section. So what I need to do right now is to copy this code. So I'm going to copy the whole code from top to bottom. I select the whole thing, right click and copy. So I copied the code here. Now we're going to go back to my website design, to my website config. I'm going to go to the sections, and in section 1, I'm going to paste the code. So that's the code that I just copied. I just paste the code right there, and then I'm going to save it. It's in section 1. So it'll be where? At the very top. Let's go ahead and check my website now. Right there. The content I just created is available right there. You click on that button and you're going to go to the home page. Just as easy as that, and as beautifully done as that. So I can create a custom section using the custom page builder to get the code, drive it right here, drop it, and then you have it available on your homepage. So right now, that's my section. That's my custom section 1. Now, another thing that I can do right here, which is cool, is this. If I want to change the order of any of these, I can certainly do that. So if I don't want this custom section to be at the very top, and I want it to be right before the call to actions, I can just drag it and drop it down here. Oops, here. Let's go ahead and refresh my website. It's not there anymore. We have the featured properties, then we have the new developments, then we have this custom section, and then we have the call to action. So I could just drag and drop. So if you want to change anything, so let's say after that, sorry, let's go back here. I want to have my testimonials right after that custom section 1 and before the CTA. I can just drag this all the way up and drop it right there and save it. Refresh. So we have the new featured properties, we have the new developments, then we have this section, then we have my client testimonials, then we have my the call to actions. So you see how easy it is? I can just easily go ahead and move modules up and down, and I'm easily able to configure my website the way that I want it to be. So now you know about the sections. You know how to create code for the different sections. You have 5 of them available on your homepage. You can create any custom content that you wish to add to your homepage. You can go ahead and add them to your custom sections. And then you can go under homepage here and change the structure, change the order. Perfect. Now, the final tab that we have right here is the main menu at the top. Let me just quickly take a look at the questions. We have a little question right here before going to the next topic here. I want to answer Cindy's question. So you want me to redo the copy to the up page? Certainly, we'll do that right again. Let me just go back here. So this is what we did. I used the custom page builder to create the page that I wanted. Once it's created, I click save, and this little thing pops up. The page pops up right here. So now I can go ahead and select all the code that's available right here. So I just highlight the whole thing and I copy this. So you just right click and copy, or you just press Command C or Control C and copy it. Once you copy that code, we can go back to the sections and then paste it right there. So let's say we want to make a change. Let's do it. Go ahead and make a change. So let me just start from the top. Let's save this. I'm just going to close this. Let's do this. I'm going to go to the custom pages section. I have the homepage custom section 1. I want to edit this. There it is. Now I want to make some changes. I want to add 2 more buttons right there. So the first button is going to go to the home valuation. Or let's say it's going to go to the contact page. So I'm going to add another button right there. This is going to say contact me. It's going to go to the contact page. I know this because I know this, but what you would need to do is to go to the contact page and then copy this section of your URL, and then come back and paste it right here under the link. Apply. So I added a button right there, and now I'm going to save it. So there's new code. I changed it. I'm just going to copy this code, and I'm also going to save it for future. Then I'm going to go back to the website design, website config, to the sections, and that's section 1. I want to replace this code. So first I'm going to select all of this, delete it, and then I'm going to paste the new code that I just copied. Let's go and save it and check it out on the website. There it is. Now I have 2 buttons available. Contact me. Oops. Oh, I'm sorry. I made a mistake here. So that's good. I just made a mistake. The URL is wrong. So let's go ahead and correct it. So I got to go to contact. So I'm going to copy this section right there. Copy. Let's go ahead and correct it. So I have it available in the other tab right here. The contact me is going to be this. That was a typo that I had there. So I corrected it. What I need to do is to go ahead and save it. For every correction, you need to update the code. So I'm just going to copy the code here. And sorry, let's go back here. Remove the old one and paste it. If you're familiar with HTML codes, you could definitely edit it right there, but I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to correct it under Page Builder and be able to apply it easily right there. So now it should work fine. Now I have 2 buttons there. Contact me is going to go to my contact page, and the about is going to go to my about page. So hopefully this answers your question. So we just redid that. All right, now the final tab right here is the main menu. So this is very similar to what we had in the homepage section, but it's for the main menu. Let's take a look at the website. This is my main menu. We have the home, about, listings, and then some submenus here, search, tools, and then some submenus here. And then we have market report, and we know where this comes from. Then we have news and contact. So this is my main menu right there. And we have the same thing available exactly right here. Home, about, listings, some submenus, search, tools, some submenus, market reports, news, and contact. So that's what we have available right there. Now, if I want to add or remove anything to my menu items, I can certainly do that. So let's say I want to have a a menu item here that would take me to the, let's say, I don't know, Rico website, whatever reason. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this URL. And then come back here. Under main menu, I'm going to add a menu item. Click on add. This is going to be saying Rico, and then the link is what I just copied from Rico's website. I'm going to add that here. So I have a new item down here, but it's not yet added to the menu structure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the plus sign right here, and it's going to add it to the right side right there. So now it's added to my structure. Save it. Let's go back to the home page, refresh. There we go. I now have a Rico option, a Rico item at the end of the menu here. Click on it and it'll take me to the Rico website. As easy as that. Now, if you have built any custom pages under your custom pages section, you can also add those to your menu as well. So we've already covered this in the custom sections, custom web page video that we had before, but I'm just going to show that to you again. So we've got this Mississauga market, which I want to add here. So that's the URL, that's the link, /page/Mississauga market. I'm just going to copy this. And sorry, let's go back to the website configuration, main menu. I want to add a menu item. Mississauga. I'm going to paste the link, add it. There it is. I have the Mississauga page added here. And what I would have to do next is to click on the plus sign and add it to my actual menu structure. Save. There it is. I have Mississauga here. Click on it, and that custom page that I had built is going to load right here, the Mississauga market page. Now, if I want to remove something from the menu, so for instance, I don't need that Rico anymore, all I would need to do is find it here and click on the minus sign right here to remove it. So it just removed it. Refresh. It's not there anymore. Now, let's say I want to include Mississauga under the listings submenu, as a submenu under listings. What I would need to do, before that, let's just move it. So let's say I want to have this Mississauga appear right after listings. So I'm just going to move it up. Before search, after listings. Remember, these are submenus. Refresh. Mississauga is now here. If I want to move it under listings, I'll just move it under listings to the right as a submenu. Save. So now it's not there in the main menu anymore, but it's available under listings right there. So you see how you can change stuff here. If I want to remove it, I can just go ahead and click on the minus sign and save it, and it will remove it from my list here. If I've changed things and I want to go back to where I started, obviously you have the load default button. You can click and it will go back to the default configuration of your menu items. So this is how you can also configure your menu items. All right. So we covered the whole thing. Now you know how to personalize your website. You can change the looks of the website. You can change the colors. You can change the logos. You can change all the artwork that's used on the website. You can change the structure of your homepage. You can add custom sections to your homepage. You can rearrange the different sections on your homepage. You can add custom pages there. You can change your menu structure. You can change your menu orientation. So there's a whole lot of things that you can do to personalize your website. And once you do that, you can easily keep changing your website as you require as well. So it's so easy once you get a hang of your website personalization. You can even make it you know pretty much a habit. You can change it every week, and you can add new stuff to your website. You can add new looks to your website. You can change it in the season. You can you know make better use of your website in terms of the message that you want to send across, because remember, this is your number one point of contact with your um, clientele out there. Your website is super important in terms of what message you want to send across, and look at it as a tool. It's not just supposed to be pretty. Obviously, it makes a difference if it is pretty, but it has to be useful. It has to send across the right messages. So, for example, once people come to the market report and they see these four areas, this is sending a message. It's a tool that provides information on the Ajax market, and it also sets a very important parameter in the mind of your website audience that this is a go-to place if you want to see up-to-date Ajax market reports. And this is a person that I can trust if I want to, purchase a property in Ajax, if I want to list my property in Ajax, for instance. So it's important for you to be able to look at your website as a tool that you want to present to your audience as well. All right. So I don't see any further questions. If there are any questions, please feel free to send them over to us. And we'd be more than happy to assist you with any questions. If you have any suggestions, we would love to hear from you. So please go ahead and write to us. Any suggestions, we would definitely consider and see how we can improve the service that we're providing to you. And again, we're going to be doing more and more of this every week. So stay tuned. Thank you very much for joining me today. If you have any, I hope this has been informative for you. And I'll see you again next week, same time. Enjoy the rest of your day and your week.